James, it seems like when you first started coming here in an IndyCar on the streets of Toronto, you didn't really have too much luck, but able to turn that around the past couple of years. What do you think has led to that?
Yeah, I mean, we had lots of luck when we came here before. It was just all bad luck. And it's nice that the last 2 years it's kind of changed. And, you know, I would be remiss to say, to not mention that both these podiums really came as a result of strategy going our way and yellow flags falling our way. But as much as I feel for the guys that got caught out by that one, I've been on the losing end of that one enough. And we've definitely had a string of bad luck so far this season. So to have something that kind of went our way was great. We obviously were struggling on the reds. There's no secret about that. But once we got those black Firestones on, you know, the aero car really came to life. And, you know, in that last stint, we were even kind of hounding down Joseph and Alex a little bit. I was almost hoping that the race was 10 laps longer. You know, it might have made it a bit interesting at the end. But, you know, all in all, just really happy for the whole Schmidt-Peterson Motorsport crew and happy to once again give everybody in Toronto something to cheer for because they came out in full force today.
Was rain on your mind? Was rain a concern as you were heading into, especially the final laps of the race when the sky got pretty dark?
Yeah, definitely. And even the end of the first stint, there were a couple of drops coming down on the visor. But, yeah, the clouds were looking really dark. You know, as you come through turn 5, heading into 6, you kind of see them. And I didn't want to get on the radio and ask because I didn't really want to know, if I'm honest. So I just kind of kept my head down, kept my foot down. And luckily, I think this is the second time that happened. Like, as soon as the race ended, it started to rain. So we're glad that Mother Nature played nice today.
Seems like everybody knows the answer to this question, but if you had to put it into words, how much does this race mean to you, and especially to perform well here?
Yeah, I mean, more and more every year. You know, the support that I feel from this city grows every single year, and it's just incredible. It's the most humbling thing. I mean, we did our parade lap in the trucks before the race, and I don't think I've seen the grandstands that full here certainly since I've been behind the wheel, and you know, the energy in the crowd was huge. And even Friday, I remember sitting in the car in pit lane and looking up at the stands and being like, man, this is a Friday. This is really impressive. So it's so awesome to feel the energy back in this event. And, you know, it's obviously one that's meant a lot to me for a long time. And, you know, we went through some kind of tough years there, but certainly with Honda Canada support and, you know, everybody at Savory Green, we've done a great job keeping it going and building the momentum and getting a bit stronger every year. And this was, you know, by far the best we've seen in a while. So hopefully that's a trend we can keep going, and hopefully eventually we can get a couple steps higher for the people of Toronto.
I think last week at Iowa, it was that you made your 100th IndyCar start. When you look back at, you know, just the young years that you've been in this series, does it make you feel a little old? Do you feel like you're starting to become a veteran of the series?
Yeah, I mean, I thought turning 30 was going to make me feel bad, but apparently 100 race starts is way worse than that. It's crazy. I guess the old saying is true. Time flies when you're having fun, because I had no idea until like the Wednesday or Thursday before Iowa, somebody mentioned, oh, it's your 100th start this week. I said, excuse me? But it's incredible. You know, it's incredible to have had a run this long, and you know, hopefully it's just the first 100.
Questions for James? Yes, Jeff.
James, last year you said that you lucked into a podium, and this year you wanted to come and earn it. Did you earn it today?
Yes and no. I mean, I'm not going to lie. I don't think we had the fastest race car at the start of the weekend, and I think getting into the Fast Six in qualifying was kind of through, you know, pure commitment on that one lap run in Q2 more than us having a great stint long car. I don't think we had a long run car, especially on the reds. But when the track rubbered in and the blacks were on, the car really did come to life. You know, so, you know, hounding down Joseph and Alex there at the end proved we had pace. It took us a bit of luck to get up there, but once we were there, we held on. And so I think we need to work on our car when conditions are a little slicker. But the more Firestone rubber we got down, you know, the more it suited our setup. And so I'd like to say that was a clever ploy to just set up for the end of the race, you know, when it really matters, but that was not the case. It was, you know, just circumstantial. So we'll go back to the drawing board and, you know, hopefully come back a bit stronger next year in all conditions.
Just to follow up, you benefited from that yellow. Just is that kind of the beauty, the good and the bad of IndyCar, that a yellow can fall and the guys in front go back and the guys in the back kind of get a break, and other, you know, kind of goes the other way sometimes? For sure. I mean, it keeps everybody guessing. You know, it keeps everyone on their toes. And, you know, like I said, I've been on the losing end of that, and it sucks. You know, I genuinely feel bad for the guys that happens to. You're doing a good job. You're pulling away. Your tires are lasting longer, and you essentially get penalized for it, which it doesn't seem fair, but it's the same for everyone. And some races it's going to benefit you. Some races it's going to bite you. But I think, you know, over the course of a season, it probably evens out.
Ryan?
James, I know you just mentioned if it was 10 laps longer, you might have been able to catch up to Joseph and Alex. Did at any point you feel as though you could have moved up from that third place spot, either into second or into the lead?
You know, well, obviously, when Alex got ahead of us in that first round of stops, he was much quicker at the end of that stint on reds. But you know, he opened up a gap when we hit some traffic, and through the second stint, couldn't really catch him. You know, I think if anything, he maybe pulled away a little bit, so it didn't really feel like we were going to be able to close in on him. And you know, I wasn't even thinking about Joseph at that point. But you know, in the third stint, in the middle part of that, the team gave me permission to use a little bit more fuel, and when I was allowed to push a bit harder, the lap time really came down, and the gap really started closing. Unfortunately, it was just too big. You know, it had gotten too big in that second stint and through the pit stops. But you know, again, congrats to Joseph and Alex for a tough fought race, and hopefully we can be stronger next year.